Have you ever wondered about China's role in Africa? China's engagement in Africa as its largest trading partner, investor, lender, and infrastructure builder has become a subject of immense global interest. Understanding this relationship is essential, as it shapes not only the socio-economic landscape of the African continent, but also has significant global implications. From trade and investment to security and soft power, China's involvement in Africa is multifaceted. So, let's delve into the history and evolution of China-Africa relations. The roots of China-Africa relations can be traced back to the 1950s, a time when the world was gripped by the Cold War. China, eager to extend its influence and challenge Western dominance, forged alliances with several African liberation movements. This relationship deepened in 1971, a pivotal year in international diplomacy. It was then that a majority of African nations voted to recognize the People's Republic of China, effectively granting them a seat at the United Nations and replacing Taiwan. This move marked a significant shift in the global balance of power. Fast forward to 1999, China launched its Going Out strategy. This was a significant policy shift, encouraging Chinese enterprises to invest abroad and marking the beginning of China's active economic engagement with Africa. In the year 2003, another milestone was reached with the establishment of the Forum on China-Africa Cooperation, or FOCAC. This platform fostered dialogue and cooperation and was instrumental in shaping China's future policies towards Africa. The year 2013 marked the announcement of China's ambitious Belt and Road Initiative. This grand strategy aimed to build a vast network of land and maritime routes connecting Asia with Africa and Europe. Several African countries were included in this initiative, further deepening the ties between China and the African continent. This historical backdrop sets the stage for understanding the multifaceted nature of China's engagement in Africa. Each of these milestones has played a role in shaping the complex relationship between China and Africa. And as we delve deeper into this topic, we'll see how these historical ties have influenced the economic, social, and political landscapes of both China and Africa. China's engagement in Africa spans across various sectors. From trade and investment to infrastructure and agriculture, let's delve into the depth of this relationship. On the trade front, China and Africa have built a robust trading partnership. China, as Africa's largest two-way trading partner, saw trade reach an impressive $254 billion in 2021. The trade primarily involves China importing raw materials like oil and minerals from Africa, while in return, exporting manufactured goods such as machinery and textiles. Investment-wise, China plays a significant role, with over 10,000 Chinese firms operating across the continent. Sectors like mining, construction, telecommunications, and manufacturing have seen considerable Chinese investment. This influx of foreign direct investment has been a driving force behind Africa's economic growth. In terms of loans, China has risen to become the largest provider of development loans to Africa, surpassing traditional lenders like the World Bank and the International Monetary Fund. These loans have been a vital source of funding for a multitude of infrastructure projects across the continent. Speaking of infrastructure, China's footprint is all over Africa. From railways, roads, and ports to dams, power plants, and stadiums, China has financed and built numerous infrastructure projects. These projects have not only contributed to economic development, but also promoted regional integration. Agriculture is another sector where China's engagement is evident. Through land leases, technology transfers, and training programs, China has been actively involved in Africa's agriculture development. The goal is to improve food security and agricultural productivity, crucial aspects in Africa's development journey. On the security front, China has broadened its ties with Africa. Peacekeeping missions, military cooperation, arms sales, and political support are some of the ways China has contributed to regional stability. This expanded security and diplomatic relationship shows China's commitment to Africa's peace and stability. Last but not least is China's soft power influence. Through cultural exchanges, media outlets, scholarships, and the establishment of Confucius Institutes, China has been enhancing its soft power in Africa. This promotes Chinese culture and language, further strengthening the bond between China and Africa. So as we can see, China's engagement in Africa is multifaceted. It's not just about trade or investment. It's about building relationships, fostering development, and creating a mutually beneficial partnership. Now that we understand the breadth of China's engagement in Africa, let's examine the benefits and challenges it brings. China's presence in Africa has brought about numerous benefits. Let's delve into these positives. First off, there's economic growth. Through trade and investment, China has significantly contributed to Africa's economy. It's not just about the exchange of goods or financial inflow, it's about the creation of jobs, the stimulation of local markets, and the overall boosting of economic activities. Next, we have infrastructure development. From railways to power plants, China's infrastructure projects have dramatically enhanced connectivity across the continent. These projects have not only opened up remote areas, but also facilitated access to essential services, improving the lives of many Africans. Then, there's poverty reduction. The economic activities supported by China, particularly in sectors like mining, construction, and manufacturing, have helped lift millions out of poverty. It's a ripple effect. When industries thrive, so do the people working in them. And let's not forget about alternative financing. For African nations facing Western criticism or sanctions, China provides a much-needed source of funding. This access to finance enables these nations to pursue development projects that might otherwise remain on the drawing board. In sum, China's involvement in Africa has yielded substantial benefits, propelling the continent towards a future of increased prosperity and development. However, China's presence in Africa is not without its challenges, and we'll explore these in the next scene. While the benefits are substantial, there are also significant challenges to consider. One of the main issues is economic dominance. As China's influence grows, there's a risk that local industries could be overshadowed, limiting their ability to grow and compete. This could lead to an over-reliance on Chinese goods and services, potentially stifling African innovation and entrepreneurship. Additionally, the question of debt sustainability arises. With China being the largest provider of development loans to Africa, there is a concern about the long-term sustainability of these debts. While the loans have facilitated infrastructure development, they've also led to an increase in debt levels, which could potentially become a burden for future generations. Furthermore, environmental impact is another significant challenge. Some of the infrastructure projects, particularly in mining and construction sectors, have raised concerns about their potential environmental consequences. These can include deforestation, air and water pollution, and biodiversity loss, all of which could have profound implications for local communities and ecosystems. Lastly, there's the issue of labor standards. While Chinese companies provide employment opportunities, there have been reports of poor working conditions and low wages in some instances. This brings up questions about labor rights and the enforcement of labor laws in these workplaces. As we can see, China's engagement in Africa is a complex issue with both opportunities and challenges. In conclusion, China's engagement in Africa has reshaped the continent in many ways. It's a story of partnerships forged, opportunities seized, and challenges faced. The multifaceted nature of this engagement is evident in the broad spectrum of sectors China has delved into. From trade and investment to infrastructure and agriculture, China's presence is palpable. China's role as Africa's largest two-way trading partner has dynamically influenced economic activities on the continent. Likewise, Its position as a significant source of foreign direct investment and development loans has spurred growth and development